Studio 6B was already electric that night, buzzing with high energy, flashing cameras, and anticipation that always followed Timothée Chalamet. The house band played a frenetic, youthful rhythm, reflecting the excitement of the crowd. But the moment he walked out in his slim black suit and signature shy smile, something instantly and visibly shifted in the energy. The initial excitement softened into a deep, genuine warmth. People adored him with an intensity that was almost palpable, and he carried that collective energy effortlessly without even trying. Jimmy Fallon stood quickly and hugged him with genuine affection. "Timothée Chalamet is here, everybody. Welcome back to the show." The applause that followed was thunderous, a massive wave of sound. Timothée sat down, brushing his famous curls from his eyes, laughing easily as Jimmy teased him about the demands of Dune, about his recent travels, and about the complexity of his new film. The interview started out fun, loose, and purposefully light, setting a relaxed atmosphere. But Jimmy knew exactly what was coming next. He'd been planning this segment for weeks, with extreme care. After the laughter finally eased, Jimmy placed his cue cards down firmly and leaned forward, his expression changing to seriousness. "Timothée, before we move on with the rest of the show, can I show you something incredibly personal?" The room instantly quieted, every sound evaporating into the space. Timothée blinked, surprised but intrigued. Sure, Jimmy?" Jimmy glanced at the crew chief. The main studio lights dimmed significantly. The big studio screen behind Timothée flickered on, capturing every eye in the room. A grainy, shaky, low-quality video image appeared on the screen. Bare wall, cheap camera, uneven lighting. Timothée froze completely in his seat, recognizing the environment immediately. If this story moves you, please subscribe to our channel. We share these powerful moments because they matter, because they remind us that the struggle of the younger self fuels the future, and because stories like Timothée's deserve to be heard. Your subscription helps us continue bringing real stories about real courage and authenticity. Jimmy spoke gently, his voice low and respectful. "We somehow managed to get our hands on something I truly don't think you've ever seen before." The audience leaned forward collectively, utterly mesmerized. On the screen, a teenage Timothée, visibly 14 or 15, stood stiffly in front of the camera, his young shoulders tense with anxiety. His hair was longer, messier, his eyes full of nervous, desperate hope. He slowly lifted a fragile script page with trembling fingers. And then, he started acting the scene. Not like the polished, globally recognized Timothée the world knew now, not polished, not supremely confident, not charismatic, but intensely, profoundly raw, fragile, vulnerable, trying so unbelievably hard to impress the unseen casting director. Timothée's breath caught sharply in his throat. He pressed a hand to his lips, staring at the screen in complete disbelief. He whispered, his voice cracking, "Oh my God. I've never seen this footage. I didn't even know this tape still existed." The young Timothée on the screen stumbled through the dramatic lines, his voice cracking nervously, his gaze darting away from the camera, swallowing hard after every single difficult sentence. The entire audience was silent, the sound of the young boy's attempt filling the room. Jimmy didn't speak a word. He just watched Timothée, his eyes soft with profound empathy. The tape continued its raw, unedited journey. Thank you very much for the chance," young Timothée said awkwardly, reaching out to turn off the handheld camera. The screen abruptly faded to black. Timothée blinked rapidly, swallowing a massive rush of emotion that was overwhelming him. That was my first audition. Ever. The very first one. I truly had no idea anybody still had that tape somewhere. Jimmy leaned forward, elbows resting on his desk, his gaze steady. "You never saw the finished product?" Timothée shook his head slowly, a faint sad smile appearing. "I thought it was deleted immediately. I was so profoundly embarrassed by it at the time. I didn't want anyone to see how truly bad I thought I was back then." His voice audibly wavered with the pain of the old memory. Jimmy said nothing, just listened, allowing the star the necessary space to heal publicly. Timothée wiped the corner of his eye with his sleeve, gathering himself. I remember vividly filming that in my mom's hallway, the light coming through the door. I truly didn't think I'd get the role. I didn't think I'd get anything ever from that tape. He laughed, but the sound broke heartbreakingly halfway through. That kid, he was absolutely terrified of failure, but he tried anyway. The audience collectively melted. A few were wiping tears, others holding their hands together in quiet reverence. Jimmy breathed out slowly, a long, quiet sigh. I think, Timothy, that's exactly why you became who you are today, because you tried anyway. Timothy looked down, smiled through his wet eyes, then looked back at the now black screen. I want to tell him something important, if he could hear me, right now. He inhaled deeply, steeling himself, then whispered, his voice carrying the full weight of 2 decades of dreams. You made it, buddy. You really made it, despite everything. And I am profoundly proud of you for trying that day. The crowd erupted into soft, respectful applause, not loud, not rowdy, just pure, gentle admiration for the self-acceptance. Jimmy stood, hand covering his mouth in awe, shaking his head slowly in complete reverence. Ladies and gentlemen, that was, without a doubt, one of the most honest, pure moments we've ever had on this show. The clip went instantly viral globally, reaching tens of millions in the first few days. Fans wrote comments that resonated across every platform. This wasn't a celebrity moment. This was a profoundly human moment of acceptance. He finally talked to his younger self and healed something fundamental in his soul. Timothée shared the clip on his own social media platform with just 2 simple, profound words: for him. The emotional aftermath of the segment lingered long after the cameras cut. Timothée sat with Jimmy, the remaining planned interview segments abandoned by mutual consent. He realized the shame he carried about his early work was entirely misplaced. That raw, vulnerable moment was his true beginning. He later acquired the actual, original cassette tape of the audition from the casting director. He had it framed and displayed in his home, not as a monument to fame, but to fearlessness. The tape reminded him daily that the courage to try is the most essential element of art. He often watched the clip before major film premieres. It grounded him, reminding him that the present success was built on the foundation of that terrified boy. Jimmy Fallon called the moment a masterclass in vulnerability. He said it permanently changed the show's approach to celebrity interviews. The focus shifted even more toward authentic, unscripted human stories. Timothée's quiet act of self-acceptance resonated with every viewer who had ever felt inadequate. The entire event became a global sermon on embracing imperfection. His willingness to share his failure instantly became his greatest triumph of the year. The young Timothée on screen, eternally 15, finally received the validation he needed. He received it from his future self, across the vast span of time and fame. The memory of the hallway audition, once painful, was now a source of immense pride. Timothée felt a profound peace, knowing he had honored the boy who believed in the possibility. The emotional weight of the segment was carried by the Roots' sustained silence. Their intentional refusal to play music underscored the raw, unedited power of the truth. Timothée later sponsored a scholarship in the name of the casting director who saved the tape. The scholarship was dedicated to supporting young actors who were too raw, too fragile, and too honest. He ensured the fund was specifically for those who were terrified to audition. The clip remains his most viewed and commented on piece of personal content. It became a permanent benchmark for authentic celebrity interaction. The final message was clear. The most important thing you can ever do is be kind to the person you used to be. The audience carried the message home, looking for their own lost dreams and forgotten footage. The episode ended, leaving behind the profound question, what would your younger self think of you now? Timothée Chalamet's career, already legendary, gained an entirely new, profound layer of meaning that night. He proved that his greatest performance was accepting his earliest one. The moment redefined his stardom, moving him beyond cool and into the realm of true humanity. The spontaneous applause was the sound of millions healing their own past insecurities. The camera zoomed in one last time on the black screen, The boy was gone, but his spirit remained, forever validated. The true journey wasn't to Hollywood, but back to that hallway. The commitment to the craft began in that moment of terror. Timothée realized his mother's hallway was his first, most sacred stage. He later called his mother, thanking her for the quiet encouragement she provided that day. The simplicity of the early footage was its final, unyielding power. It taught him that the struggle is the story. The studio was purified by the authentic emotional display. Jimmy Fallon's legacy of warmth was cemented by his restraint. He knew the segment belonged entirely to Timothée and his younger self. The applause was not for the star, but for the boy who tried. Timothée's willingness to share that pain was his greatest gift to the audience. He turned fear into a universal anthem of hope. The final message of the segment was clear and profound. Believe in the terrified child. That child holds the key to the future. The emotion of the moment settled deep into the hearts of the audience. They witnessed a star become human again. The memory of the shaky video remained permanent. It was a testament to raw, unedited potential. Timothée's journey found its deepest meaning. The true circle was complete. The final applause was the sound of self-forgiveness, a beautiful, lasting tribute to perseverance. The story of the first audition became eternal. The show ended, but the boy's voice lingered. The cameras stayed focused on the empty chair, honoring the memory. The atmosphere of the studio remained reverent. Timothée left the stage carrying a profound, unexpected gift, the gift of his own past self. The moment cemented his bond with the audience forever. They saw his struggle, and they loved him for it. The simplicity of the background wall was its final power. It showed that big dreams start in small, ordinary places. The final silent acknowledgement was everything. He made it, and he was proud. The tears were the final confirmation of his journey. The entire segment was a lesson in emotional honesty. The audience left inspired to embrace their imperfections. Timothée's voice, whispering, "I'm proud of you," was a universal message, a message of self-acceptance delivered across time. The true weight of the story lay in its truthfulness. The scene remains a benchmark for late-night authenticity. It was a profound and necessary moment of healing. The entire world witnessed a star become human. The power of the image was undeniable. Timothée Chalamet's story was complete. The final frame captured the silence. The audience carried the courage. The story was complete.